Hi, I am Amy Bonowski. I am spiritual teacher and breast cancer survivor, and I am so glad that you are here. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are back from another video, I appreciate you coming back. I work with women who have outgrown the old version of themselves. They're in an in-between and are ready to remember and rediscover who they really are. And the work that I do is about real energy work, deep truth, and tuning into living on purpose. So, today I want to talk to you about something that's been coming up quite a bit lately in conversations with women. And it's this thing around having a big dream, dreaming big, getting excited about a new goal, and then sabotaging yourself every time. Sabotaging yourself, sabotaging the dream, sabotaging whatever it is that you've been excited about. This is probably relatable because I'm pretty sure as humans we can all relate to having set a big goal and then maybe getting partway in and I don't know, I'm not talking the same day, but a few weeks later you find yourself on the couch binging watching Netflix instead of taking action. And I'm not talking about you're taking a day for yourself to relax and feel good and rejuvenate. If you've been around me long enough, you know that I am a proponent of that time for yourself. But I'm talking about a day where things just got to be too much. And when things get to be too much, your go-to cycle is checking out. So let's talk a little bit about this and why it keeps happening, and if it is happening to you, how you might be able to break the cycle. So here's the first thing. Let's talk about what's not going on. People may say these things, or you may say these things to yourself in your mind when this is happening, and while you're sitting there binge watching Netflix, you might start thinking, oh my God, I'm so lazy. I'm so not organized. I must not want this badly enough. What the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I ever commit to something? Why can't I ever finish anything? Those might be good questions to reflect on. And this isn't happening because you're lazy, and it's not happening because you don't want it badly enough. I believe that you, as a human, set this goal likely because it came to you. You heard something, you got a nudge, you had a little drop in that you thought, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And most likely when you set the goal, you were in what I would call high vibe energy. Maybe you had just come from a women's retreat or a conference or convention, or you just came from a women's circle and you felt so empowered and lit up, right? And you thought, of course I can do this. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. And what happens is then you go in and you start taking action. But a few things might be happening. One, you might be taking what you think is aligned action from actually a misaligned energetic state. What do I mean by that? I mean that your brain is telling you, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. I got to do 5 posts and record 3 videos and blah, 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 because they're on your to-do list and you know that they're the next things to check. But your body isn't there. Your body maybe in that moment showed up tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious. It's not aligned. Your energy is not aligned with the action you're taking. That might be happening. The other thing that might be happening is you start getting in your head and you start having fears, having doubts, going into second guessing, not trusting yourself anymore. And when that happens, again, we tend to get overwhelmed and flooded. And whatever you tell this magnificent brain of yours, it's going to believe. So if you tell your brain, I don't know, I mean, should I do this? Like, I thought this was a good idea when I first decided it, but now I actually have to get on and do these videos and do these posts and contact these people, and I don't think I can do it. Like, this is really scary. That's the energy that your body then gets into, and your mind. So when you're in the energy that I talked about of that like lit up phase, right? That charged up, that high vibe energy, it's very common that that's when we commit to something. That's when we make a declaration. That's when we can come out and make a big goal for ourselves, or come up with some, like, what sounds like the most fantastic business plan or life plan for ourselves, right? And that's okay. That's okay. It's not that it's not real. What happens is that then those other things start occurring, right? Life happens. You get busy. Your kids are fighting. You and your partner have an argument. You're ready to record videos one morning, but you get on email and you see like a flooded inbox, or you start having those feelings of fear and doubt, and your nervous system starts to go back into survival mode. Or, and this is a big one because we see this a lot. I see this a lot. You've been doing, and you start questioning, is this really working? Maybe I should be doing something else. Maybe this isn't the right step. And I'm not saying that there's not strategy to reaching goals, building a business, whatever it is that your goal is. But what happens is our logical mind starts to kick in when we're not seeing results. Our logical brain wants to see that what we are doing is working. And if we can't see it, our brain tells us it's not working. And that is not necessarily the truth. And when you get in that space is when you go right back to overthinking, second guessing, playing small, undermining yourself, and sitting on the couch and binging Netflix. Again, not because you needed a rest or a break, but out of sheer overwhelm and doubt and fear. So, as you're reaching for these big goals and these big dreams, they're going to require, from an energetic standpoint, is what we're talking about today, they're going to require that you have a regulated, aligned, activated energetic foundation, not this misaligned stuff. The mismatch between your vision and your energy, when there's a mismatch like I talked about, that is self-sabotaging. When I say self-sabotaging, it's because you're literally doing it to yourself. Right? Nobody else is making those choices for you. You're the one who chooses whether to show up and do the thing or whether to check out. It's self-sabotage. And what I've experienced is that this keeps happening until you have awareness of it, you catch yourself, and you have tools to shift your energetic state. And that's what I'm here for. Because what tends to happen in that space where our logic brain kicks in and wants to see results, right? Of course, we all want to see results. We all do. That's, most of the time why we're doing something, whether it's personal results, results for someone else, financial, whatever it is, followers, whatever. It's all about, from the moment you set the goal, the vision, the dream, until it comes to the finish line. There are points where you're going to be working, and there are points where you're not going to be seeing any response. And that's a space of a void, right? And I believe that things are happening. Things are happening, you just can't see them. And because you can't see them, because they're not happening in this physical plane yet, they're happening on an energetic plane. Because what we know is that in order for something to be created, it has to become energy, basically takes thought and creates it into being. Energetic movement. And so you may not be seeing it here on the physical plane yet, but that doesn't mean it's not happening on an energetic realm. You put it out there, you start doing the action consistently, right? Choosing and moving and trusting that this is happening for you. Can you do that? Can you show up authentically and aligned in that time of not seeing the results? If the answer is yes, then you're probably not self-sabotaging. If the answer is no, then it's a good thing you're here. This is where energy work comes in. So it's about learning how to drop back into your body, drop back into alignment, use tools and practices like those that I share, not just once, but over and over again, right? Put it every hour if you need to. Get up, shake your booty, dance your ass off, do some jumping jacks, whatever it's going to do some energy activations. And when you have those types of embodied practices and you start utilizing them on a regular basis, you start sending a very different signal to your brain than the one before of the self-doubt and the lack of trust and clarity, right? You're going to start sending the message to your brain, oh, we're really doing this. We can do this. All we have to do is reset our energy in real time, get ourselves aligned, and get ourselves in action. So this has been not just a conversation amongst women that are in my space, but actually one for myself. And I share these things because there's nothing special or different about me. If this is helpful to you, it probably means that I'm a step ahead of you. This is available. This awareness, this activation is available to everybody. It's there for us to tap into and to tune into. And sometimes we forget, right? And this happened to me recently. So I haven't been doing these videos for this long. It was kind of a change of how I wanted to share myself, share the information that I have, teach energy work to more people, have more people know about me and about my work and about my business. And I've been doing these videos and I've been, posting on different platforms very consistently. And there are some things that I'm seeing, such as new people like yourself finding out who I am, maybe going and following me on different social platforms. I'm seeing the views, but I'm not seeing the end result, right? I'm not seeing my big vision. I'm not seeing, because what it takes to get to that big vision is more people coming to me to be in my space if they feel so aligned to work together and to do this work so that one by one we can shift the energy of the world. I'm not seeing that yet. But here's what happened. Over the past few days, I found myself in a very wobbly state, what I would say, shaky. My stomach's been like nervous, anxious, excitedness. And I found myself busying myself by creating new programs. And that's okay. No judgment, awareness. I am excited about some things that I am creating, but I am also very aware that a part of me has been doing that as a way to distract myself from the discomfort of not seeing the results. There's a lot of discomfort in that, right? It can be hard for people to trust and to have faith. And what I will say to you is I've been doing my energetic practices. I feel so much more aligned. Now, not only have I made and recommitted to the choice of having faith and trusting, because I know that this is happening, it also has given me a fresh energy to be able to put into those other programs. So it's not just about staying aligned and staying in that high vibe energy, because distractions are going to come. The void is going to come. Life is going to happen. There's times when we're going to feel like giving up. And yes, there's reevaluation in there. But if you are thinking about something that you are very committed to, I'm not talking about, whether this is a goal of yours or not. That's a different video. But for the purpose of this, if it is something that you are completely committed to, a vision that is yours on a soul level, that you cannot imagine leaving this earth without having completed, you've got to stop self-sabotaging. Otherwise, it's not going to get completed, and you're going to continue this cycle. And what I would recommend is that instead, you take some time, learn these energetic practices. If you don't know what they are, reach out to me. I have other videos here that share some of the practices and tools. But this is the work. This is what we do together. So if you are somebody who has been finding themselves in this cycle of self-sabotage, and you're listening to this going, holy crap, she totally gets what I'm saying. And I'm not lazy. It's not that I don't want to do the damn thing. It's all this stuff that Amy just said. Then please reach out. The work that I do helps women have that full energetic reset. It helps you remember your power, not just in your head, but in your body and on a deepest level in your soul. And I want to show you how you can take aligned action simply by making a choice, even in the fear, even in the doubt, okay? Yeah, if you are ready for a real reset, real practices, real change, now's the time. Now's the time. Reach out. We can work one-on-one together. We can do I have my retreat coming up in September, which would be a phenomenal place for this. What I said earlier about the work that I do, that's why I created this retreat, because I know the power of doing this work in community with other women. It amplifies everything. And talk about being in a high vibe space where you're going to be able to be in a safe and sacred space and let shit go, and then raise your energy and refresh and reset and refocus and come home and not chase some goal just because, or chase some goal even that feels wrong in your body. You are going to have such powerful tools and powerful practices, and you're going to have experienced them and know the power of this work, that you're going to go home and you're not going to want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. You're going to have so much aligned energy. And when life hits and the email box gets full and life gets overwhelming, you've got the practices. You're able to do them on your own. You're able to do them in our communities with the Dragonfly Collective, whatever that looks like for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please share them here. I love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.